Yes, Ambassador Mehreteab Mulugeta, can you tell us a bit about yourself, your educational background, your growing up life, and
okay, thank you. As a African media here in Sweden, for considering Ethiopia and coming here and to give us this opportunity. It's a pleasure for us, to have you here, and I'm happy to do this interview, and we really appreciate. Well, to say a few words about myself, I am the ambassador of Ethiopia, based in Sweden, and covering the Nordic, Finland, Norway, and Denmark. I came here 2 years ago. I am, as we say, a career diplomat, now on the 32nd year of serving in the Foreign Ministry of Ethiopia. I am an economist by education. I am father of 2 sons. I was born in the east of Ethiopia, where in the city called Dire Dawa. I was born and raised there and finished my high school in Dire Dawa, and then moved to Addis Ababa, joining the Addis Ababa University. And then after that, I went for my further education to the then Soviet Union in the 1980s, and I stayed there for 6 years, and then went back and started work in the first Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs, and then the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the last 32 years. So in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I started as a junior diplomat, and I rose through the ranks, and I worked in the different departments, and now I have become an ambassador. In my career, I served now this is the 4th country. I served first in South Korea, in Seoul, and then in India, and then in Germany. And then I am now here in Sweden. So this is in short who I am.
Oh, that's no mean feat. I mean, it's a career spanning a long period of time.
Yes.
31, 32 years.
32 years in the Foreign Ministry, and another 2 years in the Ministry of Labor. 34. So my career started in 1989 actually, yes.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Do you feel like, okay, this career has been too long, or do you feel like, oh, I'm still going on?
No, I am still going on. I am not. I don't feel I'm still tiring. But as you know, I am not young. I cannot move as
you look young to me.
But young at heart.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying my best, my level best to do my job.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm tiring yet, and
no.
I'm still going strong, I think.
No, I hear a lot of good things about you from the African Professionals Network.
Okay. Yes.
And I've seen some videos.
Yes.
I think you're a very, very smart person.
Thank you.
You give the young people opportunity, you create space for them to thrive.
Yes.
So I've done a bit of work on you too.
Thank you very much. We believe in the youth.
Okay.
As you know, Ethiopia is 70% of the population in Ethiopia are the youth.
Oh my God!
Under the age of 30.
Okay.
So I believe that the future belongs to the youth, and when we have to pass the torch to the youth, so we have to support, and especially those youth living abroad, like in Sweden. Africans or African embassies should really support them, to enhance their endeavors, to enhance their knowledge. So that's why we would like to be there for them.
I get. We'll get a bit of the youth's angle soon. Now, Ethiopia is a country that is very fascinating and interesting at the same time. First and foremost, I don't know, what year are we in Ethiopia?
Now we are in 2016.
Oh my God. This is interesting.
Yes.
So what calendar is this?
This is we call it Julian calendar. This is the calendar which all countries used to follow before the other parts of the world.
Gregorian calendar. Yes. Okay.
But Ethiopia continued to use that Julian calendar.
Okay.
And we are in the year 2016. And we have actually sometimes two celebrations in Ethiopia. For example, New Year. When you celebrate New Year here in January 1, as per the Gregorian calendar, we don't celebrate it as a national holiday in Ethiopia. Rather, we celebrate September 11, which is our New Year. In Ethiopian calendar, September 11 is the New Year.
September
11 is the New Year. And then we have the Christmas. Our Christmas is on January 7 as per our calendar.
January 7.
January 7 is the Christmas day celebration in Ethiopia. And then the Easter holiday as well. We have already celebrated here the Christmas, but we are yet to celebrate. So we are followers of the Orthodox Christianity. So these religious holidays, the Christmas, the Easter holidays follow the Orthodox Christian calendar. So we are going to celebrate, finish our fasting season, the Lent season on May 5th. So we are going to celebrate with other Orthodox Christianity following countries. So these are the differences. So we have sometimes two holidays in Ethiopia. For those foreigners who are following the Gregorian calendar and living in Ethiopia, they celebrate their own holidays there, and then also the Ethiopian holidays. Yeah.
I knew we're definitely going to get into the historical part of Ethiopia, because you cannot meet a person like you and not ask this question. So it's important for our viewers too. Now, I wanted to find out too, for say somebody a citizen of Ethiopia wants to come to Europe, with which passport? Is he going to have the Ethiopian age or the Gregorian age?
On the
passport,
the passport.
Yes.
Usually it is the Gregorian.
Okay.
We use the Gregorian
for documents like that.
For documents.
Okay.
So that because this is an international document. So we put the Gregorian. Age and the expiry date, the issue date. But when we write the name and the other data, we write also the Ethiopian, the Amharic. We call it Amharic. Amharic language. That is the official working language is the Amharic. So when you see the passport, you will see the Amharic and then the English one.
Okay.
So we use both, but the dates, the numbers are written in Gregorian so that it is uniform with other countries all over the world.
Okay. I'm asking these questions because these are questions that a person like me who has never visited. I've passed through Addis Ababa, but I've never come out of the airport. Maybe now that I've met you, I'm going to do that soon. The Ethiopian tradition of a coffee. I heard the coffee was discovered in Ethiopia.
Yes.
But there are other versions of the story that says it was discovered in America or somewhere. Tell us your truth.
Well, we believe that, and I think the whole world accepted this notion or idea that coffee originated in Ethiopia. We have actually a region, a place called Kaffa. It is where coffee originated, and
that's where the name came.
The name came from Kaffa. Kaffa, it became coffee. So it originated there, and the history or the story is that at long time ago, some herder or he was taking his goats for grazing on the land, and he saw that the goats were reacting differently while they are eating the leaves of some trees. So he was surprised why they are acting differently than when they are eating different grass
Grasses.
or other leaves. So he started to look into this issue very seriously, and then this herd, the shepherd, he was called Kaldis.
Kalis.
Yeah.
Kalis discovered.
Kaldis is the shepherd,
Okay.
who has been, we're waiting for the. So then he took these leaves and the coffee beans and to his house, and he tried it. I don't know how exactly he tried it, but he tried it and he found out that it gives some energy, it's enhancing energy, and then it started the story started like that, and then we started trading with the Middle East at that time, Yemen, Saudi and everything, and this is how it spread. So we say that coffee originated from Ethiopia and we gave to the world. That's why we say that Ethiopia is a country of origins, coffee being one that originated in Ethiopia and gave to the world. So we believe also that we have the best coffee in the world.
What's that coffee called again?
It's called coffee Arabica.
Coffee
Arabica, and it has a different taste and aroma when you taste the Ethiopian coffee. And this is the story of coffee.
And then I heard that coffee used to be the number one source of income for Ethiopia as a country. Is that still the same?
Yes.
Wow.
It is still the same. We are, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't see the latest statistics. We are either number one or number two in Africa on export of coffee. At one time, we were competing with Uganda. So I don't know how the status now, whether we are number one or number two, because I didn't see the latest statistics on the export of coffee from Africa. But I'm sure we are on the top of coffee exporter countries, and our coffee export is the major export item for Ethiopia. Of course, we have now started to get more income from other products also, like flower, like roses. We have also came into the flower business some years ago, and as I am also following this, the statistics, I mean, I think we are second to Kenya on the export of roses to Europe. And we have a big rose farms and everything. And also there are other agriculture products like spices, pulses, and other agriculture products, and different. And we are now also trying to bring other Ethiopian produced goods to the market, to the world market. But yes, coffee is the number one export product.
Wow. So we finally heard it from the horse's mouth. I mean, we're talking with the ambassador of Ethiopia to the Nordics, and he has said it himself that they are the number one, and they are the first country that produce coffee, and then coffee gives them a lot of income in that country. Now, I want to ask, sir, is agriculture, is it a big business in Ethiopia? Like, if somebody wants to come in and invest in Ethiopia, is agriculture one of the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Ethiopia is a big country with a population of 120 million. Out of this, around 80% engage in agriculture. They live in the rural areas. Of course, that's not what we say that it's like the Europeans or the American big farms, mechanized farms. It's subsistence farming. Yes.
Okay.
But we do have land, enough land for investors to come, enough opportunities to engage in the farming. So when His Excellency Dr. Abiy came into premiership or into power in 2018, the government in 2019, after he came, after 1 year, came up with the homegrown economic program, economic strategy that will take Ethiopia for the next 10 years. So in that homegrown economic strategy, there are 5 strategies that are put as the main source of development for the economic development for the country. And that one is first one is manufacturing, manufacturing. The second one is agriculture, in different sectors of agriculture, and then the mining, tourism, and the ICT. These are the 5 major economic strategies. So agriculture is one of the strategies that the country is looking into, because we have enough land. You know, in Ethiopia we have 12 ecological zones. When I say 12 ecological zones, that means you can produce anything in Ethiopia. Those ecological zones start from very hot place into the very cold place in Ethiopia. So crops, fruits, vegetables that grow in the hot area can grow in Ethiopia in some part of the country, and those crops that need milder climate, they can grow in some parts of Ethiopia, and those crops that need cold areas can grow in Ethiopia. So anybody who wants to engage in farming or agriculture, whether it is big mechanized farming or middle scale farming, can invest or can come in Ethiopia. We give land on a lease for agri up to 99 years. So they can take lease or for agriculture and engage in production of any kinds of products. So we have these opportunities in Ethiopia.
Okay, so you just mentioned 5-point agenda of the government. One is agriculture, another one is manufacturing, ICT, tourism, and
mining.
Tourism, we know Ethiopia for tourism. I don't know who doesn't know Ethiopia for tourism, but expatiate a little bit for us in tourism. What are those fascinating places that, I mean, you keep telling people, if you've never been here, you've never been anywhere?
Yeah, well, we in Ethiopia say that Ethiopia has a history of more than 3,000 years. As Christians, we find in the Bible Ethiopia mentioned so many places, so many times. So we have in Ethiopia, because of that ancient history and ancient ties, Ethiopia has to offer to any tourist or any visitor different aspects. We have in the northern part, mainly northern part of Ethiopia, we have the historical roots based on this ancient history, where you would find different monasteries, churches, palaces, obelisks. You will find them there in that, like the church of Lalibela, which is church which is carved out of one stone, beyond
that's unimaginable.
Yes, and you will find the palaces in Gondar, the king of Fasil palaces, and you can you can find also places where Queen Sheba,
Queen of Sheba
ruled, from her kingdom. So we have a lot of historical places in the northern part of Ethiopia. And when you go down towards the south, you will find places where you will visit some animals, like lions, elephants,
the wildlife.
Yeah, it's not as big as Kenya or Tanzania, but we do have some wildlife in Ethiopia. And
you have lions in Ethiopia?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, we do. Actually, we have something different lion, with brown, and we will show you later on the pictures.
Yes.
A different lion with a big the hair and
the mane.
The male.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have the lions, and when you go down south, then you will find a different culture. You will find people still living like the ancient time, with only small strap of clothes, and otherwise they are moving around without any
what are they called?
They are called the Omorati people in Omorati in
Wow.
South Omo region, and you'll find them there. Women just going. With something.
Wow.
Yeah, and their living styles, and you'll find these people. I don't know if you saw the pictures. Who cut their lips and put some clay.
Is that
inside.
Ethiopia?
Yes,
The one that makes
yes.
They say that's the sign of beauty.
Exactly.
Wow.
The bigger
the
beautiful.
lips.
Yes. So you will find it in Ethiopia. So it is. You'll find it in the south. So in Ethiopia, we say that for any tourist who wants to see history, who wants to see a little bit of wildlife, and who wants to experience cultures of different cultures, then it is a place in Ethiopia where you will see everything. Because in some parts, in other parts of the world, when you go there, either you will see the beaches only, where they don't have the sea and the water. In other parts, you will find the animals, the wildlife, and everything. And in some parts, you will see history mainly. But in Ethiopia, within the context of the country, you will find historical places, wildlife, and at the same time culture also. And we are we do have birds endemic only to Ethiopia, where you will not find those birds anywhere else. You will find some wildlife which are endemic only for Ethiopia, where these endemic lives you will not find them anywhere else in the world. So there are a lot of wildlife where you will find only in Ethiopia. There are also birds where you only find in Ethiopia. Actually, there are some tourists going from Sweden only to watch those birds, to see them, to take pictures of these birds. So we do have these opportunities in the tourism area. Of course, Addis Ababa is becoming also now a tourist destination because of a lot of developments within the Addis Ababa city. We are having parks, recreation areas where any tourist going to anywhere in the world in a modern city can enjoy.
Yes.
So we are building that, and we are also developing actually a transit tourism.
Okay.
With what we call transit tourism. For example, if you are going to any other part of Africa,
Yes.
Mostly you use Ethiopian Airlines.
Yes.
So when you arrive in Addis, usually you arrive early in the morning, and then you can stay the whole day in Addis Ababa, and then have visits there, the churches, the museums, and everything, and then you can catch your next flight next day or the evening flight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
That means your stopover becomes like a tourist visit.
Tourism. Yes, a tourism.
Okay, that's beautiful.
So
that's
Ethiopian Airlines is promoting that also.
Okay.
So,
I wanted to ask a question. Ambassador, can you tell us a secret? We promise not to tell anyone. Where's the Ark of the Covenant? Where did you keep the Ark of the Covenant?
In Aksum.
Is there? Where is Aksum?
It's in the north, in Tigray region.
Okay.
It's in church Zion Mariam. It is where we call it Zion Mariam. Well, Saint Mary Church in Aksum.
Okay.
It is kept in that church. Nobody is allowed to enter in that place where the Ark of the Covenant is kept. There is only one monk who is assigned to guard, to clean and everything that Ark. And when you are assigned as a monk to that Ark of Covenant, you are not allowed to come until you are dead.
Wow.
So nobody can enter because it's a holy place and it's sacred. And the monk also who is assigned there, he will be selected specifically for that. And then once he enters there, he is not allowed to come out. He will not come out until he dies.
And that place is heavily guarded?
Well, it's not heavily guarded actually, like, with soldiers or anything.
Yeah.
God himself guards the place. So you cannot enter, just by the Holy Spirit of God.
Yes.
Yeah.
That lives that leaves it in a lot more mystery. It's now more.
Nobody saw it.
Nobody.
We believe that it's there.
Yes. Okay.
And a lot of people, previous times, tried to enter the church, but they couldn't. Not because of there is a police or a military, just because of the spirit is guarded.
No one can.
Yes.
So you had it, viewers. Try as you may, you cannot get or steal the Ark of the Covenant. It is kept somewhere in Africa, and that means Ethiopia is very important to this world as it is. Ethiopia is one of the most, how do I put it, most interesting places in the world, and it's no wonder a lot of people are going to Ethiopia on visits. Tell us, what percentage of the national revenue is the tourism sector?
Well, I don't have the latest figure of income or percentage, but tourism is generating quite enough income for Ethiopia.
Wow.
But as I said, as much as we have so many tourist attractions or tourist areas, we are not actually using the full capacity. We are not that much developed in infrastructure wise or hotels, road, rail.
So there's still room for more investment.
Very big room. Okay. Very large and big room still for investment, because of the development stage where we are, we are not that much into using all the opportunities, because you need to, in some places, you need to fly. If we had roads or rails, connectivity, expanded connectivity, the tourism reach out would have been more, and the income would have been more. And we need still to work more on the promotion of tourism attractions in Ethiopia. Although we are trying as embassies all over the world, although we are trying our best to do that, but we feel still that we are not promoting enough to attract more tourism, because there is more still to get from tourism. The arrival of tourists can increase. Actually, the number is increasing. Actually, now because of that and because of the expansion of the Ethiopian Airlines, we are now building a new airport outside Addis. Now the current airport is becoming small. We are now, if I'm not mistaken, we are taking around 20 million passengers every year. So the number is going to increase. So we are building the one of the biggest airports in Africa outside Addis. And when we have that kind of, more access on air, road, rail, then we will have. But tourism is, of course, one of the areas where generates foreign exchange and incomes, but we still believe there is room for increase and expansion.